Hi again folks, how's all doing? A couple of wee pugs here that were sent to me by Darren. I thought I would just do them together in one video, two for the price of one. The story with them is, this one here, this nearest one, goes but not very well. Let's just turn on the power. Yeah. Yeah, it's not too good. And the other one doesn't go at all. Unless you press down on it. Sort of goes, but nah. So we'll deal with them one at a time, get into the bench and see what's what. So we'll see if we can get this one into the shed. And we'll have to shunt the other one in. Okay, so two little pugs. I like pugs, they're nice little things, but they're not fun to work on, and they don't like my track very much because unless your track is perfectly level, especially going over points, these things are going to stutter and stumble a bit, but never mind. So I'll have a look at both of them. One's made in China, this one is made in China, and that one's made in Great Britain. I think they're both going to be slightly different. We'll work on this one first. This is the one that had the isn't running well, but is running. So to get this off, there's two clips at the back there. There we go. One of them's broken anyway, so don't then just come off. Right, okay. Let's stick a battery on this. So that seems to be going okay. The battery. Righty-ho. I think really all we need to do is give this a little bit of a clean up and I think it'll be okay. So I'm going to get everything a blast out with a contact cleaner. There's quite a lot of congealed grease on that gear. Yeah, pretty dirty. We'll get some tea cut on the wheels. The gear is very dry. Give it a good lube. Get lubrication everywhere else. It runs, but just not very smoothly. So on the layout, with the body shell just on loosely, still not running right. That's a bit of a puzzle. Yeah, I think the worm gear is pressing down too hard on the drive gear. So instead of the gears meshing like that, you know, they're kind of like that. It's just, yeah, so we need to find a way to reposition this motor just a tiny bit. Need to put something underneath it to shim it or something. There's little clips. That's what it is. Didn't spot them. There's little clips either side. There we go. Okay, I think what the issue is, see, I thought the motor was moving that way. What's actually happening, I think, is the motor is moving forward and then it's tilting. Because there's a gap between the plastic front of the motor here and this front of the mount. I think if I can block that gap, that'll stop the motor moving. So I'm going to try a little piece of zip tie, see if I can just wedge it in there. Like that. And then just clip it off. So now that motor can't move back or forward, and it can't move down the way, and it should be prevented from moving up by the clip. So let's try that. That sounds good actually. We'll go and try this in the layout. Yeah, that's definitely running an awful lot better. However, it seems to have acquired a wee growl from somewhere, so I'm going to have another wee look at it. So certainly fixing that motor in its correct position is certainly making it run an awful lot better. But it's a bit rough. Oh dear, if it's not one thing, it's another. Okay, so fixing the motor so it doesn't move about has definitely made it run smoother, but it's making a bit of a growling noise, and also it doesn't pull away very well. It kind of sits there buzzing and then all of a sudden goes. I think it's the worm gear, because looking at it, it looks a bit either worn or just cheap and nasty. One or the other, I think. So I'm going to take the motor out, pull the worm gear off, stick another one on, and see if that makes any difference. So, gears. What have we got? That looks like it. I think that might do. So I'm going to take it right off. If I have to pull it like that. Now, will this fit? Yes, it does. Okay, we're going to have to take the motor out of the mount because I need to brace the back of the armature shaft. Because if you don't, and then you try and tap that on or squeeze it on, you're at risk of breaking the bearings in the motor. There, so now I've exposed the end of the armature shaft, I can put that on something hard and give that a few wee taps. There we go, that's the new worm gear on. Well, it goes. We'll stick this on the layout and see if it's any better. Let's see if this runs any better. Still not pulling away. Certainly running a lot quieter. It's a lot quieter. Just wish it would pull away a little bit smoother. So this is a motor and chassis I've taken out of a couple of Pugs I've got that I've never used. I've got a Great Western one and a Southern one that were given to me a while back, and they've sat in a box, I've never used them. But I took this out and it's identical to Darren's. So let's see how this one performs. See if it's any better or any worse. Turn on the power slowly. I think that pulls away a bit better. Definitely in reverse. Still doesn't pull away all that slowly. Let's just dump the body on. Yeah, I think that's a lot better. So the motors on these are different than the motor that's in this Pug here, and they're different again from the motor that's in my Caledonian Pug. These are both made in China, that's made in Britain. My Caledonian Pug is made in China, but it's a later one. It has a plastic mount for the motor, and the motor's different. So I think, to be honest, I think these motors are just rubbish. I don't think they have enough torque to really handle really slow running. But or slow pulling away anyway. They run fine slowly once you've got them going, but it's just getting them going. They just don't seem to be able to turn the gear. But this one does it better. So I asked Darren if he would have any objection to me swapping these, giving him this one, which runs a bit better, and just put his body on it, and he'll get a much better running locomotive. And he said fine, so that's what I'm going to do. So after all the work I've done on that, no, I'm not happy with it, and I'm much happier with the way that one runs, so that's the one Darren will get. So I've already given this a wee bit of a service, just some lubrication and a clean up, and it runs not bad at all. So there we go, I've got the body onto the replacement motor and chassis, and that seems to run fine now. It pulls away not too bad, it's not perfect, but it pulls away a lot slower and smoother than this does. So I've kind of admitted defeat on this one. Tried everything, replaced the worm gear, I've moved the worm gear back and forward, I've tried backing off this screw, changing the position of the motor slightly. Yeah, I just think it's these motors, I just think they're a bit rubbish. Anyway, Dan's quite happy to get that running like that, so job done. Okay, we'll have a look at this one now. Huntley and Palmer's number 4, in a very chocolatey brown colour. Right, okay, yeah, clip's broken, so looks like this is just going to lift off. That comes off. At least those clips at the back, there's 2 clips in there. And that'll lift off, at least it should. There's the clip at the side there. There we go. Okay, and again, we've got a wobbly motor. It's all over the place. And that's partly because the clip's not on right. So let's put the clip on right and see if that makes any difference. See how this runs. It's better. There you go. I'm going to stick this in the layout quickly and just see what it does. Okay, this one runs much better than the other one. It pulls away slowly and is lurching a wee bit. This one's certainly wired differently, whether that makes any difference or not. That's quite interesting. It's only got the one capacitor there, because this one certainly pulls away nice and slow, but it does have a wee bit of a lurch. So is it the same problem? And that's the position of the motor. Let's just slacken that off a bit. So before we do anything else, we'll give this a good clean up. Where's my Maggie brush? There's one of the different types of pickups as well. They're much shorter pickups that sit much higher up on the wheel. But they all appear to be making contact, which is fine. But this is the made in Great Britain one, and the other one is the made in China one, so I think that kind of tells you everything you need to know. This one is a little bit better quality and runs better. Try a bit of grease in this worm gear now. Yeah, what's making it lurch? Okay, we'll lift the motor out. There we go. That's how easy it is to take the motor out of this one. And there's no black sticky stuff or anything like that. Okay, so with this motor, there's no wires. It's direct contact between there, and the 2 contacts there and there. So it's more efficient. Now that I've got this motor out, I can get some oil in the back bearing there. There is still movement in that motor. You can wiggle it from side to side, and I wonder is when the motor's spinning and engaging with the gears, if it's pulling the motor slightly out of alignment. So I think, as we did before, I'm going to wedge something in that little space to see if we can stop that. Okay, as I did with the other locomotive, I've jammed a bit cable tie in there, and that means that that motor does not move at all. There's no play in it. So we'll snip it off and pop it back in. Hopefully that's done the trick. We'll see. I think it might just have done so. We'll go and stick it in the layout and see. Okay, so I gave that a run around the layout and it seems to be fine. So yeah, once again, it appears to have been that little space between the front of the motor and the motor mount, just allowing a little bit of movement in the motor, causing the problem. And a little bit of cable tie in there, and that's sorted it. So one thing I haven't done is cleaned the wheels, so we'll need to do that, and then we'll get the body back on, and that'll be that. T-cut. Okay then, that's these two little brown pugs shorted. I've added a coupling hook to the front of this one, by the way. Let's go and pull them out of the shed and see how they run. Okay then, let's bring them out. So there we go, that's Darren's two pugs sorted. They're tricky little things, these pugs. There's different variations in the motor and the way the motor's mounted into the chassis and stuff. Some run really well, some don't. These are running okay now, and surprisingly well over points and crossings actually. I haven't seen these stumble or stutter at all, so that's really good. But yeah, slightly disappointed with the MR one there, that I couldn't get it to run quite the way I wanted it to. But luckily I had that spare pug lying around, swapped the motors and chassis over, and it runs fine. So we'll get these packed up, ready to get sent back to Darren, and we'll catch you later, folks.